word. There we go. All right, so hunting, fishing, and farming is just some terms that people have come up with as methodologies to find and attract and secure deals with new clients. Okay, once again, it could be whether you have a digital marketing agency, you're a Fiverr, virtual assistant, professional sales closer, whatever it is, you have to have a way to find the people that you're going to work with. Tools and techniques and tips to continuously keep your schedule full with enough clients to feed you. Okay. So the term hunting, fishing, and farming, it's not original for me. I just take terms to try to conceptualize the things that are in my brain. So my definition of hunting, fishing, and farming might be different than something else you've heard. That's okay. Doesn't mean the other thing is wrong. Doesn't mean what I'm saying is wrong either. It just means you taking new information and putting it with the old stuff and figuring out what works for you. Because that's what it boils down to at the end. Nobody's a super expert genius on anything. You just have to find something that works for you. Okay. So what we're going to go over today is some of the things that I do to keep having, 4 or 5 calls a week, and more than that, contacts with different possible clients. Okay, sorry, that was the air freshener thing. All right, so what we're going to talk about today is give you a little bit of definition again, what I'm talking about when I say hunting, fishing, and farming, what I'm trying to do, and then go through each one of those terms and kind of explain some of the techniques, identify what they actually are, and also some of the pros and the cons of each one of them. So once again, you can decide what you're going to do and what you're going to use to actually find clients yourself. Okay. Hunting, fishing, and farming. Once again, just terms to define methods of finding new clients. Influencers. It could be, once again, it could be if you're an executive coach, it can be finding those top level executives to work with. If you're doing SEO, finding those companies that have websites that need to be seen better. So whatever business you are in, hunting, fishing, and farming is what you do to find new clients. Simple as that. No magnificent or super gaudy definition. It's just simple terms. Hunting, fishing, and farming, the methods themselves really depends on how hungry you are, which one you're going to be focusing on. Okay? So when I say hungry, that means how critical is it for you to get a new client to get money, to make some more additional money? So if you have some issues going on with your family, business is going to collapse, bills are due, some dire situation, the more critical the situation, the more aggressive you need to be in finding your client. Simple as that. What I don't do is tell a starving man, don't worry while I'm eating dinner. So if my business is going great, I'm got enough clients, I can't tell a person, hey, wait, this might take 6 months to a year, but this works best. Just do that. I'll never tell you that. I'll tell you, do what you need to do to eat. Do what you need to do for you. So that's why I give you all the tools possible so you can choose where you're going to work and what level of intensity and aggressiveness that you need. It's up to you. Remember, this is an individual sport. You win, you lose by yourself, no matter who tells you to do what. It's your game to win or your game to lose. All right, so first, let's talk about hunting. I was actually watching this show on Netflix. It's called Meat Eater. And the guy says in there, I like hunting not just for the sport, but because it's something that's natural to us. I like meat. And he goes out and he hunts and fishes for stuff. So one thing about hunting is that it's active. Hunting is the most aggressive you can be. You're actively going out and taking shots. Okay, what does that mean, taking shots? You are doing something that will cause the person to say yes or no right then. And if that person leaves, just like a deer that you missed the shot, you might not ever see that person again. But you are hunting because you need to make a kill. You need to eat. Okay. Some examples of hunting: applying for jobs, sending out videos to people, sending out messages to work for them. So if a person says, or you go find a person who has a course or a client that you're looking for to work with, and you send them a message saying, I do this, I do this, I do this, I would love to talk to you, da da da. That is a hunting message. Once again, most times the person's it's gonna be yes or no. The thing with hunting is it doesn't take into account the status of the prey. If you're just hunting blindly, you're not thinking about the client that you're looking for. Do they really need your services right now? That's what could cause them to say no. But because you present yourself so aggressively, they only can say yes or no. That's the only options you give them. So they say no, disregard you, and put you away from their mind most times. Some of the pros, some of the good things about hunting, it's the fastest method. You get the fastest results, because if you only need one client a month to eat, and you go out and take shots at 100 people and you get that one kill, you're good for the month. Problem is, you scared off all the prey in that area. Maybe now you might have to go find a new area. Okay. Some of the cons, once again, one shot, one kill, or one miss. And when people start to see your messages and go, oh my God, you don't want that. Or when you send the message out, those people are saying, stop spamming me or stop sending this to me. Those are some of the cons, some of the bad things about hunting. But once again, if you need to eat, I will never stop you from tell you to don't hunt. But there's some better ways to hunt. Okay, there's better ways than just cold blast messaging people, sending out 50 videos to people who might not need your service. Okay, in hunting, there's no relationship building. You're stalking and killing. You're making your list of 100 top clients that you will want to work with, sending them all email blasts or messages with your services that you do, and you're hoping to get one or two. But once again, if you miss, you might not ever be able to talk to that person again, because you didn't build any type of relationship with that person at all. Here's some good things you can do in hunting. There are actually people who are looking for you. So when you go to these type of sites, they are looking for you. This is the good thing, the good way to hunt. Find people who are actively looking for you. This is one of the reasons why when I first started in the previous sales training I was in, once I figured out what who we were looking for, I knew where to go to find them. I went to some of these sites: Upwork, LinkedIn, Guru, Monster, all these places. There are people there who are looking for you. So if you're hungry, you need to eat, go there. It's not an intrusion to them for you to actually send them messages or reply to them or send them videos, because they're looking for you. Some of the terms that you need to search for: high ticket sales, enrollment coach, whatever your specialty is, SEO, lead generation, whatever your specialty is, look for the words that deal with your specialty. Use those as search words, especially in some places like Indeed, where some of the job descriptions they give like super fancy titles for crap nowadays. And you actually have to read through the description to see what actually the duties of the job is, to go, oh, they're looking for a virtual assistant. I can do that. But they might call it the magnanimous mentorship program consultant position. virtual assistant, I need you to answer some emails. Why didn't you just say that? But once again, they just do these things to make these jobs look super awesome. I just posted a job the other day to some of my guys. My coach actually posted a job looking for technically sales closers, but more kind of full service sales closers, where you're doing a little bit more virtual assistant and customer service also, but it's really a sales closing position. So, but the title was some crappy title, and I had to read through the description and go, oh, he wants professional sales closure. So I sent it to some of my guys who fit the description and can do the job. So when you're looking for these jobs, make sure you read through the descriptions, because the descriptions will tell you exactly what's required and if that is something that you should be applying for. Okay, so right now, questions about hunting. Oh my gosh. Questions about hunting. So type into the, oh my gosh, this thing is messing me up. Hold up, guys. Okay, Kushal raised his hand. Okay, Kushal, go ahead and talk to me.
Yeah, okay. So one problem which I faced while I was hunting, so as a position of a closer in any kind of influencer or remote closer, they're actually asking for so many kind of experience, and like they want us to do outbounds and like the process which is like emailing after the call, or like sending some emails, and those kind of receiving the payments and all other things which are like not included in like closing. Maybe I don't know, because I'm new to this part. So one guy like kind of asked me like, what kind of experience do you have? And then I said, I don't have any kind of experience. So but we got to know that he was actually concerned about somebody who could do some things that are actually sending messages to the leads, maybe like before emails, before getting the call, and then after that like follow up emails maybe. So he actually wanted somebody who has already done that, and he don't want to like teach me all those things. So how to get rid of that kind of situation?
Go learn the things he wants you to do.
Hmm. And like, what are
I
the
mean,
exact things?
it's not, I'm not trying to be silly, but it's the truth. Whatever he asks you to do that you don't know, go
Hmm.
learn it. So the next time you have a call with somebody who asks you to do that, you know how to do it.
Hmm. Yeah, but at that time that guy's like got off, right?
Just depends. I mean, but when, the whole point of you actively looking for people, any person you talk to who has a position might ask you to do something that you don't know how to do. And if you can't do it, then you can't do it. But what you do after that is up to you. Do you go learn that skill? Do you go study it? Find out some more information to where now you can speak intelligently about it at least? I mean,
Hmm.
that's really what it comes down to. This is why when I teach professional sales closers, it's not a sales closer, it's professional sales closer. Why do I say professional? Because you should know a lot of stuff more than just closing sales. You should know marketing. You should understand about all the ways these people are getting their clients. Because when you do, now you know about these things: email marketing, um, sending bots messages on Facebook. There's a lot of different ways. Cold calling, email. There's a lot of ways to get that client on the phone with you. And as a professional, you have to know those things. Same thing, a professional person who's doing lead generation. If you only do LinkedIn, okay, if you only do LinkedIn, what if the person has needs clients to be generated on Facebook? Do you go, oh, okay, well, I guess I don't work with you? You, you know, you don't want to, when you're learning any specific task or skill, learn the stuff that goes around it too, because that's what really makes you a professional to me. Otherwise, you're just a worker. You're just an employee. And that's what this guy is trying to hire: somebody who's going to make his whole business better. They can send emails, call. He's looking for a one-stop shop, which would be good if he can find it. He might have to outsource a few different people. So hopefully that makes sense. But go learn the stuff. Don't just go back and go, damn, I don't know it. Go learn it. So the next time you'll be ready for the next call.
Gotcha.
Okay, Unique, you're next. Oh, sorry. Hold on. Oh, sorry. Trying to allow to talk. There you go. Unique, you there?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Yes, now that you explained hunting, I kind of realized this is what I do a lot at my job. Because around this time is when a lot of clients tend to want to advertise, because it's what we would call the high season in the Caribbean, when we have an influx of tourists and yachties and visitors coming in. So obviously you want to push your business out. So a lot of them come in seasonally. And just before, so about in August, September, I usually have to send out like these mass emails with our promotional material. And it's just literally now clicking like, okay, so this is what I've been doing, hunting.
There you go. All right. Anybody else got any questions or comments about hunting specifically? All of you guys, that when you get into that area, if you're in the mentorship program, you'll see in the file the documents and stuff are all there. And also a lot of the things that I do specifically are in those documents. And you can always ask me too, and I can show you stuff more. So do I send videos before talking? Sometimes. The majority of the time, no. If I, like right now, people on Facebook, I would. Anybody else, nah. Most times, like if I see a job posted on Facebook, a person asking for whatever service I do, from lead generation to business development or professional sales closing, I might send them a quick video. Hey man, just saw your post on there. Love the chat. I looked at your website. Looks awesome. Get a hold of me. Holla at me, boy. Something like that. But most times I won't. But if it's on Facebook, I would. People other than that, I don't. And once again, I'll tell you why. Because people are biased off of your video. If your ultimate goal is to get the person on the phone, if they make their decision based off of looking at your video, then you failed, because your job is to get them on the phone. That is your job. You need to get the person on the phone. Now, if you look at some of the messages that I send, you see that I sometimes close deals even through messages. And you learn that too later on in our course. But at first, the first thing I'm teaching you is that verbal ninjutsu. So in order to use that skill, you need to get the person on the phone with you. No matter how great a video you can make, they sometimes are biased. Maybe they don't like brown people or people with bald heads. Maybe they only want a woman. Maybe they don't like the voice, that your voice was raspy that day. Maybe they don't like your background with the cherry looking monster up there. Whatever it could be, it defeats the purpose. And if one thing you do know that I teach is that there's a purpose behind everything. So your goal, your purpose of contacting a client is to get that client on the phone or a video chat with you. That is the ultimate goal. So I try not to do anything that would mess that up. Okay. Any other questions, comments about hunting before we go on to the next part, which is fishing? I love fishing. That's one of the things when I grew up, me and my grandfather used to get up, crack of dawn, go to the pigeon coop, dig up some worms, fill them up in a little bucket, and go out searching for fishing spots. In Louisiana, you look for the running water, where they're letting the water out of the rice fields, because that's where all the crawfish start flowing into the water, and the fish are there waiting to eat the crawfish. So that's where you catch a lot of fish. So going into fishing now, let's continue with our presentation. Fishing. So fishing is actively putting out content to attract potential clients, okay? So this is not like hunting where you take that shot and you're gonna spook them or you're gonna kill them. Fishing, you put the bait out where the fish are. I'll say it again. You put the bait where the fish are, which means you have to know where your ideal clients live. And from that point, you put out bait. Now, what is that bait? That bait is the content that you put out, whether you're writing articles, speaking, teaching classes, seminars, having also a great profile in those areas. That also deals with fishing. For me, my primary profile is my LinkedIn profile. So I try to push everybody to my LinkedIn profile. So if ever I'm out at an event or doing whatever, I always push people to my LinkedIn profile. Okay, so also going to events is kind of hunting also. I didn't say that, but when you go to those events and try to network with people, that is hunting. So what you should do is turn it from hunting into farming. And I'll explain that when I get into the farming part. Okay. So the going to events and networking is actually a combination of hunting and farming. Okay. So let's get back into fishing. So fishing, you're putting out these content to in the places and to the people, your ideal client. Once again, no matter what business you're doing, you are trying to show yourself as an expert in that arena by answering questions, providing great content information in regards to your expertise. Some of the great things about when it comes to fishing is that they come to you. Now you got to do the work to find where they are, okay, and put the bait there. But when they come, they're going to come to you. Another great thing about it is you can really catch a big client that way, because when those folks are looking for you, when they decide to start looking, let's say you've been posting a lot of great information in whatever group you're in. When that client who has an awesome new program or who needs the new lead generation because he's trying to scale up their business, when they know you, they'll say, oh man, this person right here has been speaking very greatly. Let me contact that person. It gives you a chance to catch a big fish, and it also builds authority. See, when you're out there putting out that content, people start to refer you. So just like I posted in a group the other day, there's people who are referring other people to me. I don't even know these people, but they're saying, hey, this guy John recommended you for me to work with you and ask you some questions. Cool. Tell John I said thank you, because I'm putting out that work. I'm doing that work. So you should create a content plan. Right now, we're at the ending part right now, the planning phase. So you should already have your content plan, just kind of tweaking it, the information you're going to try to put out over the next months to show yourself as an authority in your particular niche. Okay. Making videos, whatever you're comfortable with. If you don't like to be seen, make audio. You know, if you're not really good speaking, do a blog, whatever it is. And if you can do a combination of all of them, do it. I try to multi-purpose everything I do. So if I make a video, I'll try to put the video, do clips, different places, you know, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. And now I'm actually starting up my podcast. So all the interviews and videos I do, I'm going to post them on there too. Once again, when those people need you, they will take a bite. That's the great thing. Cons of it, you got to wait for that bite. And I remember sometimes me and my grandfather be out there fishing all day, and we come back and we wouldn't have caught anything. But that's part of fishing. You also have to have the right bait. And sometimes it takes you switching out a lot and learning a lot. This is what a lot of folks just seem that they don't want to do. You have to figure out what's the right thing to use for bait. For me, I go study. I continue to study and stay on the top of the information, whatever niche or whatever I'm doing. You have to be on that pulse, you know, that you know the latest things, the new innovations, you know, give people solutions to their issues that they're having. Only way to do that is to be really involved in there. really be an expert by continuing to have the latest information and providing the solutions to problems people have. So that is the correct bait. So even though you might think whatever you have is awesome, it might not be the right bait. You might not be having the right information. So you have to have the right bait for the fish. And needless to say, not all fish are attracted to the same bait. Which is funny, because when I went fishing for trout, I know everybody I know talk about trout fishing. They use these flies to catch trout. Well, me and my mother-in-law caught rainbow trout with worms, just like those old mud fish from Louisiana, just to say. So in fishing, you build authority and relationships, because remember, those people are seeing your posts, seeing your information you're giving out without asking them for anything. Key to that, guys. Stop putting call to actions in everything. Just give information, man. And you realize this when you have to run a Facebook group or anything and moderate those. Man, everybody call to action, call to action, call to action. Just give great information. Just answer questions. Just help people. The byproduct of that will be that you will get the people that you need. Okay? You develop that relationship with continual content. So the two words for fishing, attract and catch. So just like Kushal was saying just a minute ago, now when you get on the phone with that person, you got to catch them. You got to hook them. So that's the other part of fishing. It's not just putting the bait out, but when you get that fish on the line, you got to get them in the boat. Here's some examples of some of the things that I do. Some of the content I put out. Some of you guys have seen some of this. You know, the article there, 4 steps to double your 2019 sales revenue. Putting out content about the skill of listening, putting out memes and pictures, giving valuable information and sayings and content. These are how you fish, okay? Any questions on fishing now? So we're in the fishing. Any comments, questions? People have anything to say about fishing? Guys good with fishing? Y'all understand all that? All right. We'll continue on. Oh, okay. Is there any other way than writing articles for fishing? Yeah. You can post pictures with words on them. You don't have to write an article. You can just write some information that you learned. Like if you figured out a new way to, new great way to find new clients, you can post that. So it doesn't have to be like an article. It's just information. So whatever information you find, that's what you want to give out to the folks. You know, let them know the new information that you've been getting. I still don't know how to open this thing up. Chopped. Okay. Yeah. One of the things, you know, one great way to get some good content, I Google stuff. Whatever I'm interested in or whatever subject I'm studying, Google it. Just Google, let's say, increasing your sales conversion. Google that. Google increasing your sales conversion. There'll be like 500 articles and YouTube videos, all these things that'll pop up. Copy these things. Restate the information in your own words so that you are explaining to people what you understood from it. So you don't have to be the originator of the actual information. Okay. What type of pictures? Yeah, whenever I want to figure out a quote or something like that, what I do is I go to, you can just find a nice, really good quote, and then just go to use one of your, like a picture editing or video editing type software. I use, what's this thing on my phone? Let me see. I use this thing. It's Photoshop Express on my phone. So what I'll do is I'll go to Photoshop Express, take that picture, and then you can find a billion quotes. You know, you can just find inspirational quotes, business quotes, entrepreneurship quotes. All of those will work. So just find one of those, find a nice picture, and write it on there and post it. There's a lot of ways to do those type of things. Yep, Canva work too. Why is it looking like this? I don't know. Any other things we can talk on it? Anything else? All right, so let's keep on moving. All right, so next we're talking about farming. Unless you guys got something else? Nothing else? All right. Farming. So hunting, fishing, and farming. Farming is actively developing relationships that could lead to clients. Quote bundles, hundreds of great quotes. There you go. There's so much stuff out there, guys. The thing of it is this. Now that you know what you can do, it's up to you to go do it. So now you take the time to go find all these different things that you can use to help to find, to make articles and stuff. Like right now in my suitcase that I've just starting to pack up because I'm leaving this evening, I get Entrepreneur Magazine, okay? Why do John get Entrepreneur Magazine? Of course, I like to read the articles and all this stuff. But see, I could take one of those articles, read it, write my own notes and summary of it, now post that to you guys. That's how simple it can be. There's also some other software that you can actually, it restates and rewrites complete articles for you. Man, it's crazy the stuff that they have available out there. But the thing of it is, once again, making this content, putting that information out there so you're shown as yourself as an expert in these fields. These folks. Okay, sorry. These guys are sending me all this stuff. People keep sending me information. Okay, so farming, actively developing relationships. Farming is completely 100% about relationships. I'll say it again. It's completely 100% about relationships. The actual getting clients is a byproduct of that. It just happens. That's why it takes so long. And you can do farming with everyone. You don't specifically choose who you're going to work with in farming. Okay, so in farming, this is through social media, events, which I really love, clubs, meetings, groups, emails, messages, all this stuff. So the reason why farming is so different than the others is you never know who is connected to who. That's why I talk to everybody. Any person I meet at an event, I'm trying to get them on my LinkedIn profile, get them on LinkedIn, connect with them on there. And then from there, I continue to build that relationship because I don't know, this person might know the CEO of whatever company who now can use my services. So you work with everyone. This causes you now to start building relationships with people, to actively engage people in conversation who you wouldn't normally. Now, if you're an introverted person, it's going to be hard for you. It's going to suck. But if you want your business to grow, you got to do this. It's not optional, or you pay somebody else to do it. But once again, if you're the face of the business, you're the name of it right now, you're going to have to do it. If you're a solopreneur, then you got to do this. Some of the great things about it, the value is developed over time. So if you need to eat now, farming is not what you want to do immediately. Farming takes time. It takes putting out information, building relationships, chatting back and forth, not breaking rapport with people by hunting them after you've got them on the connect with you. You build relationships, but those relationships are very strong. And what you'll end up getting is what? Recommendations. People will refer you because the people that you are building these relationships with, they believe in you. They might not even know your service that good, but they believe in you because they've been talking to you. They built a little bit of a relationship with you. Uh-oh. Okay, here it goes. Cons, once again, it takes time. Whew. So I've heard people, sometimes they're putting 2-3 years into building relationships with people, going to their events, reading their books, writing reviews, making videos about these people who they're focusing on. And then finally, that budded up to something that really provided fruit for them later. But it could take time. Who knows how long, but it does take time. So here's about farming. You develop those strong relationships so you're growing things to harvest later. So as I said, when I go to events, I am building relationships with people, quickie relationships, just those little instant friend things. And then when I get the person onto my Instagram, so I go and I make the contact with the person, get the person's contact information for Instagram. How I farm with these people is I now ask them questions about their expertise. Say that again. I ask the person questions about their expertise. So if the person is a fitness guru, I'm asking you, hey, what could be better, working out first or dieting? Which one should I do first? They answer that question. 2-3 weeks later, I send them another question. Thank you so much for helping me out here. Now I'm looking to do some exercise. Should I use free weights or machines? Which was better? Thank you. 2 weeks later, man, that was awesome. I've lost 5 pounds and gained 15. What should I do about, having a pain in my leg? How can I exercise my legs when one of them's hurt? You see, this is what you're doing over time. When that person post some great information, you are commenting on those. They write a book, you read the book, you write a review on the book, you make a video. This is building relationships over time, farming that relationship. Here are some of the things that happens when you farm. You see, hey John, Tim gave me your contact information. He said you might be a good high ticket closer, whatever. I still don't know who the hell Tim is, but I talked to him and closed the deal the other day. Hey, John, what's up? My friend Danny recommended you as a Same thing. I don't know who the hell Danny was. Okay. Another guy hey, we just briefly met on Sean's call. Long story short, since Sean trusts you to close his deals, I was hoping if you could do the same for me. Same stuff, guys. This is what happens when you're building relationships. I didn't ask the guys about anything. They knew from someone else who referred them to me based on what they've seen about me or the encounters that we've had. This is why you don't disregard anybody. I tell folks this: if you are looking for a client to work with, whether you're a sales professional looking for clients or whether you're a lead generation looking for clients, anyone who can't work with you today, don't just throw them out the window and disregard them. Oh, well, I'm sorry, I'm not going to be able to work with you anymore because of that. No, because when that person gets their stuff together, you are still there. You have a good relationship with them. One client I was working with, we parted ways because I didn't like the way they were now evaluating their professional salesman. I told them point blank, this is not a good environment for me. I don't like how things are going. I wish you guys all the best. I believe in your product, service. Go out there and kill them. Later on, this person gave me another opportunity to work with them in a different manner. Now, what would happen if I told them, you guys suck, I don't want to work with you guys, you're wasting my time? No, it's about relationships, guys. All this is about building relationships, and the better connections and relationships you have with people, no matter what they're doing, the long as you keep your calm and you do what you're supposed to, even people who do you wrong will come back to you. Okay? So when you're doing this farming, this is long-term stuff, long-term relationships, and everybody can be a player because you never know who your uncle knows, your cousin, the person at your job. So you don't want to be crappy to anybody because you never know who they know. Okay, any questions about the farming? I know lots of people teach different ways of farming and all this other stuff. Go find a list, but there's a lot of ways to do it. But how I do it is that building a relationship and continue to grow that, asking specific questions for those people based on their expertise. Questions about farming? Comments, questions? All right, so we have, when you ask questions, is there a time when you ask too much? Depends on how much that person has to give to you. So if I met the person and I just use fitness expert. If I met the person at an event and they're a fitness expert, for one, I've already set it up to where that person knows that I'm going to ask you questions because that's the whole reason for me contacting you. You're an expert. I might need some help later. Can I get a hold of you? When you know it's time to get on the phone is when they then ask you, or they say something to you that regards, hey, I would like to work with you, or what exactly do you do? Can you explain it? Anytime somebody asks you to explain stuff, get on the phone. They don't want to get on the phone, no point. Well, I'm going to explain something to you you don't want to know about. You can read my description, read my profile if you want an explanation. But when you ask too much from an expert, like for me as myself considered being a professional sales closer, sales expert, communications expert, when you ask too much of me, it will be, hey, John, I can't even really think will be too much. Something that deals with maybe my time. Say, hey, can you role play with me, 4 times a week? That's a little much. But if you say, hey, John, you got 15 minutes? I really need to ask you a question. No problem. 15 minutes. Let's jump on a call. Or, hey, John, this happened to me the other day. What do you think I should do? Most times I'll jump on a call with you to explain because I don't like to type to explain shit. But those type of things are not too much. A question, one question is not too much. One question every 2-3 weeks is not too much. That person understands that, hey, you regard them as an expert. That's why you're talking to them. Now, if they have some course or something like that that actually explains a lot of stuff, if you get to be too bothersome, they're going to tell you that. They're going to say, well, that's in my course, You keep asking me things, that's in my course. This is why, once again, you'll realize that reaction as you continue on. So you'll get taught that a little bit later, ABK. For farming, when do you know it's a good time? I already said that one. So whenever the person asks you any questions yourself, when they say, hey, John, what is it that you actually do? I'll give a brief explanation. I do this, this, this. And if they go, so how would that work for my type of company? Well, it depends. We should chat. Link. The person tells me, well, they don't really have time to waste on this because I want to know something before I get on the phone with you. No problem. Have a great life. I don't need you to get on the phone with me. If you want to know what I do or how I can help you, let's get on the phone. I don't like to type to people. I personally, some other people do. And this, once again, this is your prerogative. You can do what you like. I don't like to type information. I like to speak information. So if I get on the phone with you, I prefer a Zoom chat because that way I can see you, see if you bullshitting or not, and you can see me. And so most people don't want to be that way though. But hey, it is what it is. I'd like to get on a call with a person so I can actually talk to them and hear what's going on, not have to formulate it in my mind because words have different meanings and I might read something wrong, same as you. Any other questions? All right. So, as far as hunting, fishing, and farming, once again, you can use all three. You can use them when you need them. You can use them at more than one than the other. It's up to you. But once again, you got to eat. So if you're okay far as food wise, you can pursue some of the other ones. You know, hunting is only bare necessity if you're doing it the really aggressive one shot, one kill way. If you're still just looking on Upwork, LinkedIn, Indeed, some of those are okay. But that doesn't hurt you. The farming and fishing can never hurt you. You always can do those things. The thing is, make a plan. Make a plan of what you're going to do. I'm going to send out this many messages. I'm going to do this. I'm going to make this much content. The plan is what makes it successful. Why I continue to get stuff happening is because I continue to be consistent every week with the plan that I do. And that way, now things keep coming. And when you get it really going, it starts working by itself. You know, it happens by itself. So remember, on fishing, you can repost stuff, you can rewrite stuff, repurpose. DEO. Who knows what that means? I'll give you a hint. Duplicate, emulate, then originate. You don't have to be the one who comes up with the articles. You don't have to be the one that comes up with the quotes. There's hundreds of awesome folks who've already wrote a bunch of stuff that you can use. Just repurpose it. You don't have to say, hey, I did this. I'd like to give people their credit in the bottom if I copied something from some article. But you showing that you can at least find that information for people and provide it still shows your expertise. So give value when you're fishing. This is how you do it. So farming, attend events, contact the speakers before you go to the event, connect with them on LinkedIn. That's what I like to do. Google your top whatever. If your top SEO companies, those people, get a hold of these people, find out what these people are doing, copy those things. Or if those are your clients, start building a relationship with them somehow. Sometimes in farming, you're going to have to actually purchase things to work with that person a little closer. Hey man, I really love your program. I was part of it. Just keep that relationship going. Hunting, use the sites. Remember, they are looking. So that way it's not a one shot, one kill. You're not running away the people that you actually really want to talk to because they are looking for you. So that's all I have, guys. Once again, only thing I ask from any type of training is that you guys share it with somebody else. This training will actually be on the YouTube playlist. So I'll put it up there as soon as I get it finished. Go to LinkedIn, give me a recommendation if you haven't already on something, if it was useful to you. Remember the new sales training class is going to start 3 November. We also have the weekly coaching that you can do, or the boot camp, which has all those hours of video training. If you need more information on that, talk to Ola or David, and they can give you some more information. So what questions, comments, things you guys got? I see one popping up. So Dave said, thanks. Quotes. Any other questions, comments? Otherwise, we're going to wrap it up because we're almost at that 1 hour spot. Okay, we got another question, another comment at least. Thanks, Christine. Okay, Christine, no problem. Look forward to working with you guys. All the guys in the G1, G2 class, make sure you get your role plays done this week and keep working that muscle memory, building your skills, getting that verbal ninjutsu. Yes. All right. If there's nothing left, guys, I'm going to go ahead and shut this down. Let's see. No questions from Ola. So let me stop the recording if I can. Record.